Hey guys, welcome back to Foil Fridays. This is Tucker from Matt Kiteboarding, and today we're going to walk you through a couple of new foils from Duotone for 2020, which is the Spirit Carve and the Spirit Surf. Now these foils are completely redesigned for this year and really opening up Duotone to the larger foil freeride game. And to tell you the truth, we really couldn't be more excited. This is a real step in the right direction for them. Riding them, we've been super excited and impressed. So I'll walk you through some of kind of the key differences here and some of the neat design features, and then walk you through maybe which one might be right for you or your riding style. As with all of our videos, go ahead and click in the eye icon in the upper right hand corner of the screen. That's going to take you to our Foil Boarding Knowledge Center, which is actually pretty navigable now, so jump in there and check it out. Let us know what you think, and that's going to get you more information written as well as some photos and links to products in our website. So go ahead and jump in there and follow along. So the Spirit foil for 2020 is an entirely new design for Duotone. They had the Speedster and the Speedster GT in previous years, and this is an entirely new foil. If you look at it closely, you can tell the mast extrusion is sleeker and a thicker cord, so this is more rigid, more durable, and just a better mast in general. Going down into the fuselage, this is an aluminum fuselage, not the plastic carbon stuff they had in years past. And as you can tell, very obvious on the wing set here, this is a woven carbon foam core wing, so extremely light, very strong and rigid, and sleek. So this thing is really, you know, refined, and they took all the necessary steps to make this a world-class hydrofoil for 2020. Now in the Spirit foil program, they've got 4 different wing sets and complete foils, we'll call them. We've got the Surf, the Carve, and then the 2 not pictured here would be the Freeride and the GT. The 2 we're going to focus on are the Spirit Surf and the Spirit Carve. This is what most of your average Joes out there are going to be interested in. Getting out, having blast and light wind, moderate wind, free riding, and just general moderate to low powered foiling. So guys, in years past, you know, they've made some decent foils, but honestly, they haven't been our favorite here at the shop. So when they came to me this year and said, man, we're gonna have 4 different models in an alloy foil and a carbon foil, I was a little bit skeptical, thinking maybe they were jumping in a little too fast before they had things figured out. And honestly, they couldn't have proved me wrong more, because these foils are phenomenal. They ride really well, and the design is absolutely on point. So for these 2, we have our Spirit Surf here, 1250 centimeter square front wing, very mellow, sleek wing, thin and fast, and just a very straightforward design here, which means this is no frills, efficiency and fun, very playful but predictable feeling foil. Moving on to our Carve version. If you look at the wings closely, they're very similar. You know, they're just changing the size and the aspect ratio a bit on these 2. So again, quite thin, just a mellow anhedral curve, no winglets, no additional drag, just pure efficiency on that front wing. Between these 2, your heavier riders or your riders looking to ride with less kite power are really going to enjoy the Surf. Personally, at about 200 pounds, this is my go-to foil for light wind days, or on days where I really want to tap into power of the swell and glide around without much interference from my kite power. So for the Carve Surf, well, it is called a Carve Surf. This isn't really necessarily a surfing foil or a prone surfing or sup paddleboarding foil. It does have the size, but the thickness really isn't thick enough to really give you that consistent lift at those low speeds. Somebody my size, you know, I could go and paddle this into probably chest high or larger waves. Lighter riders could certainly use it on a surfboard, and I would assume it worked quite well. But for those of you guys that are, you know, about my weight, looking to ride small waves, this one's just not going to be quite large enough. Going into a more do-it-all kind of a design, the Carve is certainly a favorite of mine. Definitely still capable in lighter winds. You're just going to need a little bit more kite power, and it's a little bit more agile and fun to ride at higher speeds than the Surf is because of its higher top end speed and additional maneuverability. So if you're my weight and looking kind of for a do-it-all foil, the Carve is going to be excellent for that, as well as you lighter guys looking for a light wind or underpowered kind of a foil design. This one is a ton of fun and going to get you out there ripping around without the additional need for wings or other things for higher end speeds or a little bit more kite power. The similarities between these two, other than the wing size and the front, you know, they're really pretty identical here. We're sharing the same 215 carbon back wing or stabilizer wing here. It's got just a tiny little winglet here to give it some direction, and other than that, very sleek, functional, flat stabilizer. Very predictable, as I had said before. Going into the fuselage, they share the same fuselage through the Spirit series. So no matter which one of these you have, you can simply throw on a different front wing and away you go. These are a extruded aluminum mast with aluminum top plate here. It is connected permanently here. So if you're after new masts or a different size mast, you will have to buy this complete. So when you buy these, they have to be purchased as a complete mast with collar. As a result, they're a little bit more expensive when you're purchasing a multiple mast setup, which is kind of a negative in my mind. Ideally, you'd have a separate collar from the mast where you could buy just separate masts to put on here, but they are not allowing for that, which is kind of a bummer. But on the positive side of that, this mast to collar connection is extremely tight and rigid. It is fixed permanently in there, so there's no question of whether this is tight enough or the tolerance is in there really snug enough to make a rigid foil. So, you know, it is a bummer, but in the end of the day, you have a better product as a result. The Surf comes standard in a 75 centimeter mast, whereas the Carve comes in the option of 75 or 90 centimeter mast, as you see here. So that will be an option for you if you're choosing to buy complete. On the water, the feel of these foils, if you're the same person riding it, are going to be a little bit different. For the Surf, really you're looking in those lower range of speeds, more stability, more glide. So for me at 200 pounds, I get a range at this, catching lift at about 12 miles per hour of board speed, and I tap out a speed about 22 miles per hour, which is very respectable for a wing of this size. And as I had mentioned before, very sleek and efficient. So that allows that foil to reach those higher top end speeds. Although at those higher, you know, 20 plus mile an hour top speeds, it does get locked in a little bit and quite lifty feeling, even for somebody of my size. So if you're out there wanting to ride at moderate speeds and really glide around, do footwork tricks and learn the basics without having to go too fast, or if you're just looking to ride around with less kite power, the Surf version is probably for you. Also, if you're a heavier rider. The Carve, for me, is a real do-it-all foil. It's large enough for me to ride in light wind with adequate kite power, and it really has a respectable top end speed as well. I'd say maybe 25, 26 miles per hour is where it hits that terminal velocity, and down into lower range, still quite efficient. You know, you can really gain lift at about 13, 14 miles per hour of board speed with this foil. Really where it breaks down the most between these two, beyond that, you know, small difference in speed range, is the stability of the foil. If you're riding kind of in that typical 15, 16 miles an hour or under of speed, the Surf is going to feel really stable underfoot, but still very playful and fun, where you can glide through those transitions. If you're routinely going above 15 miles per hour of board speed, 16, 17, 18, the Carve is going to feel less locked in at those higher end speeds. So if you're out there cruising around at 20 miles per hour, wanting to bank turns and do loops and things like that at a higher speed, the Carve is going to be a little bit more nimble when you're cruising around faster. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is the compatibility with boards. So Duotone is sticking with their 90 by 165 pattern, which in the past we have referred to as a carbon standard. It's what a lot of the carbon boards use. So this mounting plate is going to fit on anything with a 90 by 165 pattern or anything with a sliding track system that'll allow you to mount this to that board. So really very versatile. Most boards with a fixed pattern are that 90 by 160, so it's going to allow you to use those. As with all of our videos, go ahead and click the eye icon in the upper right hand corner of the screen. That's going to take you to our foil boarding knowledge center. That's actually been reorganized lately and is a lot more searchable, which is great. So jump in there and peek around. So guys, thanks for coming out and checking out the new 2020 Duotone Spirit Surf and Spirit Carve foils. As I had said before, jump into our blog using the eye icon for more information and links to the product pages. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those in the comment section below. We'll do our best to respond. And as always with our videos, we always appreciate a thumbs up and a share with a friend if you thought the video was great. Till next week, this has been Foil Fridays with Matt Kiteboarding.